It started 1 month after saying I do. You had even gotten baptized, yet so soon you prove untrue. For have you never heard it say that he that looks at a woman with a passion has already committed adultery with her in his heart? I'm devastated and crushed. I thought I knew you. And there's more? You mean to tell me you've been addicted to porn since you were a little boy? And on top of all of that, it is white and Asian women that you crave. And nothing as black as me has ever been in your gaze. I'll stop there. That's a little piece of another part of my play that I gotta work on. I gotta work on that part a little bit more. When I first delivered it in the first time, I kind of did a rough run through of my play. I'll call it a rough run through. I guess I'll call it that. Long story short, the first time that I presented my play independently and at Indie Fringe this past summer, I actually was very emotional through that piece. And then by working with my acting coach, it's like, no, that is a powerful piece. Do not deliver that piece all emotional and broken. One of my favorite parts of that piece is when I say, but you don't like black. You hate black. You curse black. Problems in our bedroom, you say it's my fault, black. When all I know how to do, I learn from you. And when I try to explore, you say no, so I know no more. So anyway, so I'm working on that piece. Hey, I'm Myra Cassidy here. Empowerment coach, religious trauma specialist, motivational speaker, and author, trying to raise awareness and heal myself while building a space for other people to heal who've had similar experiences with religious trauma. I myself have religious trauma syndrome, and with religious trauma, it is an emerging field. So the horrible part about it is many people don't know they even have it. I'm grateful to have connected with spaces where I can be myself. Well, not truly, right? Because if that was the case, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. What I mean is that there are spaces out there for if a person still wants to leave their religion intact, they can do that. The issue is being raised as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, there's not really a space for that particular pathway. There's pathways in the religious trauma space for people who want to leave purity culture altogether. So the thing about religious trauma, remember, we're not talking about just church hurt. No, this is traumatized. You are traumatized by either an event or several events that happen at the Kingdom Hall or something that someone has done to you. It could be a number of things as to why you have religious trauma. So I am definitely working to raise awareness in this field through my play and through my group coaching that will start December the 3rd, every other Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. So definitely, if you're interested, get in contact with me. Sign up information will be available very, very soon. But in the meantime, join my Facebook group, Sisters. Well, it's kind of like JW Sisters, but Sisters Living with Religious Trauma Syndrome, because this is horrible. And we need a space to heal. And it's difficult. And it hurts. I'm hurting right now. I am actually hurting a lot right now. I got triggered pretty badly. Like, I have the PTSD and all of that. And of course, the PTSD that applies to the Kingdom Hall, meaning if I even see a Kingdom Hall, I'll have a panic attack because of all that I experienced. Well, it's hard and it's frustrating when I feel the way I feel right now, because it's like I just feel tired sometimes. I have a lot to do, and it's like I really don't have the time for this right now, but my body is not hearing that. Long story short, yesterday, had some internet trouble. A technician came out to the house, and we're talking about a cable line. And we're following this cable line in the office / laundry room of my home. And all I did was reach my hand up, to point to it, and bam, triggered. My mind went back. And it's just like, I had to tell the technician, look, sorry, I have PTSD. Literally, me raising my hand up just put me in a bad place for a moment, because when I was married to my JWX, who was addicted to porn, he had literally cut out a hole in the ceiling that I discovered and had like porn stuffed in it. And I had to explain to the technician. I was like, it was just pretty much like this towel right here. And then when I caught him, he glued it back in. So it's like, I apologize. But see, the thing about it is, like, I'm tired, right? I'm tired. I don't feel good because I was triggered. So, you know, usually depending on how bad I'm triggered, you know, you do your self-talk, you do your mindfulness techniques, you get some rest, right? You know, like last night, I think I even drank some like chamomile. I drank chamomile tea, just things like that to just help myself calm down. But then this morning, still not feeling good, you know, got some coffee. And you know what I did? I stood in the mirror and I said this portion of my play. And it's like, yes, get it out, get it out. But I'm also going to do some more self-care for myself, right? I'm getting ready to go get myself a sandwich. It doesn't have to be something big. Sometimes it's like just getting yourself something simple to do. So I'm going to go buy myself a sandwich. And I told myself, you know I don't feel good and I have a lot more things to do this week. I said, you know what? Go slow. Just go slow. Whatever I don't get done, it can wait till next week. Go slow. But also because I know how I feel, unfortunately, what's frustrating is the time I have to take away from work, right? That's money. That's money, right? Like I was planning on, you know, picking up some extra hours, and it's like, no, you're going to handle this. You're going to face this. You got some more healing to do in this area. So definitely what it feels like, even I will say for me, is when those feelings of the addiction that started to resurface, I never really even understood just how hurt I was by it. Like, of course it hurts, right? Of course, being one of Jehovah's Witnesses, what do? You go tell the elders. What do? We get and they talk to you and him together about the porn addiction. And it's like so frustrating, because now what I feel like is happening is I've accepted the fact that that's the kind of person he was, right? Like, you're gross, right? I know I saw all the nasty stuff I saw, and I remember just being so tired of his porn addiction, you know, towards the end. But I was like, look, you can just do it. You can just do it. Just tell me that you're doing it so I know it's not me. But you feel so tired because it's like they will bait you into arguments so that way they don't have to, you know, that night they can go, that's an excuse for them to get on the computer. Oh, you made me mad. Oh, you know, or, you know, just those moments where it's like, oh, you fell asleep on the couch looking at the computer. I'm going to go, you know, wake you up. And then picking up the computer and you're like, oh my God. And I don't know if it was the fact that I picked up the computer or what, but it's like bloop, 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 bloop. And you're like, oh my God, what is this? And I remember yelling at my ex and just saying, I don't want them nasty images in my mind. So it's just so frustrating, and actually just more stuff that in my healing journey has got to continue to come up, right? Get it up, get it out, and deal with it. But it's also the fact that as I'm revisiting this through the religious trauma space, I see the hurt and the pain and the disappointment and even the abandonment I feel from the elders in leadership. I mean, I just told you about the hole in the ceiling. Well, I did call an elder, and he was getting ready to go on vacation. Okay, I'm going to call you back after vacation. He calls me back. Hey, did you guys work out your problem? I said, yeah. What did that mean? I just said, forget it. And in moments like that, I feel like the elder, what would I have wanted him to do? To say, you know what, sister? You just told me that he was cutting a hole out in the ceiling. He got a problem. And we want to talk to him. Okay? And not only that, let me tell you something else. He probably has a subscription. And, you know, just to know that information, and the reason why this is such an important piece of my healing journey is I actually had to go talk to a mental health professional just about that porn, right? out of pocket, I'm paying for this, right? An expense, you know, but I got some really great information from this therapist who himself used to have the same problem. He now helps preachers and things like that in that space. So what he helped me to understand was, yeah, it was probably a subscription. Of course, you know, it was never your fault, right? This was never your problem to own. And these are things that I wish, you know, an elder would have said, you know, and been able to just say, you know, never feel like you're less than because he has this problem. That is his problem to fix. And then it's also the frustration that one thing the therapist told me was, you know, we can talk about Bible all day long while we shouldn't do this. You shouldn't look at porn, da 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 da. The reality is it's an addiction. Of course, it's an addiction, and it's a very, very bad addiction. And there are triggers involved, and the individual, if they want to change, needs to also know their triggers and be able to replace those bad habits. And just knowing that, it's like, I mean, we went to the elders about just that alone, like way too many times, not to mention the fact that that also does increase domestic violence, with which this is October Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Porn addiction and domestic violence also go hand in hand, comorbid. So it's just, you know, frustrating to know that all I did was reach my hand up and I'm triggered, and now I need to do self-care, right? I need to actually go back and write, how do you feel that very first time? I've never done this. How do you feel that very first time that you told those two elders about the porn and the domestic violence, and they spoke to you too and told you to be a more submissive wife? How does that make you feel? And that's the stuff now with the religious trauma healing I got to pull up. Get it out. Hurt, crushed, because I kept my mouth shut for 2 years. And I'm getting hurt so bad. And I finally speak up. And then even after the fact, the bad part about it is one of the elders that we went to was supposed to be studying the Bible with me. You know, their husband and wife were studying the Bible with us too, like that first year of our marriage. And I had already mentioned it then, this is in my book, that he was abusing me. But I'm not finding anybody else in this Kingdom Hall that I can trust. So like a dummy, I go back to the same elder who already proved that he didn't really care. And neither did his wife, right? I put that in my book too. Like, you know, her calling me pathetic. Like, whoa, you know that I'm being abused here. You call me pathetic? Really? So it's just, you know, healing is a journey. Like, this is really like a lifestyle. You do heal. It does get better, but it takes time, and you have to do the work. So I'm forcing myself to slow down and do the work. A quick resource, if you're looking for like a group, because you know I'm all about group, a group resource, I believe btr.com or .org. I should have looked it up, but B as in Bravo, T as in Tango, R as in Romeo is a good place if you're looking for that. A good place to hear just kind of like woman to woman. Plus they're on social media and so forth as well. If you're just looking for support in that space, if you're working to heal, you know, from the pain that's caused from being married to one of Jehovah's Witnesses who's addicted to porn and won't stop, right? So that's a good place to go. But, you know, it's a journey day by day. I know, give it a couple of days of me just self-care, I'll feel better. But hoping that someone out there is encouraged. And I know people out there can relate, because let me tell you, I really, really appreciate all the messages and all the love and all the thumbs up. Thank you, because I know my work is not in vain. All right, see you Sunday.